Yo viewers, today for the initial checkout we have a set of Uniden telephones. This is a DECT6 telephone, 4 handsets with a waterproof, and the model number is the DECT1580-4WXT. So this would have been the original configuration that this phone shipped in. The 3 regular handsets plus the waterproof phone. And these were made in Vietnam. They were not made in China. So, let's get this phone line plugged in here. This set is from the 2009, so it's one of the earlier ones. I think these can be traced back to 2008. And it came to me with these Lenmar batteries in there. It came with 4 of them. 3 were in the opened, well, they weren't actually in the phones, they was removed, which is correct for shipping, but one of them was new in the box. And so you can see here it's the 2.4 volts, it's the nickel metal hydride chemistry, and it's the 1590 milliamps, which is very specific. Anyway, so that's that. Not sure if these batteries are any good. This brand has been around for a while. I've seen it before. Anyways, these batteries seem to be working to an extent, so maybe they're okay. The waterproof phone still had the original battery, and the model number, well, the model number was the BT1008, but that's not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say was we have the date code on there, which is the 2009, and we have the brand Lexel, which is kind of odd. I've seen that brand, I would say, less than 5 times within Uniden phones of all different ages. I'm tracing back to the 900 era. Usually we see either Coron, BYD, GPI, I think there was one other one that was common, and then on these rare occasions a Lexel will show up. Now this battery was taking a charge, but it really wasn't usable. It would blank out as soon as you press anything on that handset. This battery is about 11 years old now, and I don't know, maybe this would still be working if it hadn't sat for a while, because the phones, the last entries on the caller ID are in September 11th, and we're in February. I bought the phones, well, I think within the last 2 months. They've been sitting here in the studio for a while, and presumably they've been sitting since September as well. So if that wasn't the case, maybe the waterproof phone's battery would still be good. I don't know. The particular auction included this 5.8 waterproof phone as well, so they probably had this one first and then changed over to the DECT6 set. And this one, the battery is from the 2007, and this was the GPI battery, and this one I'm fairly confident would still work just fine if the phone had remained connected and powered up constantly. The last entry in this phone is from 8/25, so I don't know if that was last year or not. Regardless, here we have it. This is one of my favorite DECT6 phones. I'm starting to kind of hoard these now because really there's not a really good economy phone out there anymore. AT&T and VTech have a couple of decent models that are acceptable, but I don't like them quite as much as I like these. Panasonic has a few good phones out still, but they're outrageously expensive. I've tried some of their economy models and was grossly disappointed. The waterproof phone is the only decent waterproof phone that exists as far as I'm concerned. This one here, the Uniden one. The Panasonic waterproof phone is awful. The Motorola one, a yellow one, was very short-lived. From what I understand, it wasn't that great anyways. So there is another waterproof phone. It's also by Motorola's. I'm not sure what the OEM of it is. I may try it at some point. It doesn't look like it's very durable. It looks like it may be waterproof, but not particularly durable. And I like the fact that these Uniden ones are really thick and heavy and durable. So I still kind of gravitate towards these anyways. And so whenever they come up at a decent price, I almost always buy them, because once the stock runs out, that's it. There's going to be no more. And these are kind of sought after, so when a deal comes up, I usually take it. So anyways, with all that being said, let's switch that over to the simulator. And so it should not be saying no line anymore, which it's not. Or was a check tone, I think is what it said. Now it's claiming there's a voicemail on the line. There is definitely not. So there's a certain keystroke to get rid of it. Forget what it is. I haven't had a phone service with voicemail on it in a while, so it's just not an issue that I've run into. I know it definitely can be done. It's just a question of how. There we go. It's gone. So you press and hold the find button for however many seconds that was, and that clears it out. Now, this phone, it's definitely got some wear on it. See the backs? It all turned shiny, but all the buttons seem to work perfectly fine still. And this is one of the magics of plastic buttons. They usually tend to work perfectly fine. So, let's go ahead and call this thing up. Ah, looks like the ringers have been customized.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
This is a skunk calling. This one's on the Christmas. It's on the Patriotic. It's on the ROLEs, I think it's called. And that one's on the Flick. And the message alert is on. Turn that off, and let's turn that call screening off. That's going to cause a freak show as well. Okay. So it seems like they all rang. So let's call it and we'll record a message. That was kind of ridiculous, and there's so many tones on there. I've always liked the sound of all those ringers, all the tones being different.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
This is a test of this Digitan, or the digital answering system. Over and out. Okay, now let's record a custom greeting. Oh, the greeting is done in here.
2 new messages. Record greeting.
You've reached the Goose Guy. Honk, honk.
You've reached the goose guy. Honk, honk.
Okay, that was a comical greeting for the Aaron. Now let's call and see what the custom greeting sounds like. Ugh, here we go again.
You've reached the goose guy. Honk, honk.
That actually sounded pretty clear.
Three new messages. This is a skunk calling. This is a test of this Digitan or the digital answering system. Over and out. That actually sounded pretty clear. End of messages.
I think it wasn't giving any date and time stamp because the clock isn't set. Well, it happens to be Sunday. It is 7:48 p.m. I'd rather it be 4:20. Okay, let's see if it gives us the date and time stamp this time.
You've reached the goose guy. Honk, honk.
I found on these phones that the messages sound clearer when played back through the handset versus the speaker on the base.
One new message and three old messages. I found on these phones that the messages sound clearer when played back through the handset versus the speaker on the base. Sunday, 4:21 p.m. One new message and three old messages. I found on these phones that the messages sound clearer when played back through the handset versus the speaker on the base. Sunday, 4:20 p.m. End of messages.
Okay, and as requested by that letter, the H, or the letter H, let's try to access the answering machine remotely.
You've reached Sunday, 4:22 p.m. 4 old messages. To play incoming message, press 02. For help, press 10. To repeat message, press 01. To play incoming message, press 02. To scan message, 03.
A couple of days ago I recorded a video on a 2.4 gigahertz Uniden, and it said LR on the message thing, and I had no idea what that meant. Now I know what it means. It says line remote. It's kind of a strange thing to say, but okay. No, I missed everything it said.
Message, press 0, 1. To play incoming message, press 0, 2. To scan message, press 0, 3. To delete message, press 0, 4. To stop, press 0, 5. To turn answer function off, press 0, 6. To turn answer function off, press 0, 9. For help, press 1, 0. Answering system is off.
I guess this doesn't have the ability to record remotely the greeting.
Answering system is on. 4 old messages. This is a system calling. This is a test. It actually.
Okay, so we should be down to 2 messages now. Okay. It's taking a long time to let go of the line. There's the 2 messages.
To delete all messages, press delete again.
Okay, those messages are out of there. Alright, let's go over to the mains and we'll make some outside calls because the answering machine seems like it's working correctly.
Greetings from Jones Family Farms, and we have some exciting news now that February has arrived. A new winter offering. Our wineskin is open for bottle sales on Fridays and Saturdays from 12 noon till 4:30 p.m. in February and March. And this is a very convenient way to purchase your favorite wine for the weekend. 606 Walnut Tree Hill Road, Shelton, Connecticut. That's where you come for your Christmas trees. Such as farm-made jams, local honey, and maple syrup, and memorable farm gift items. Farms.com, and has a link to us. As for the winery courtyard, we plan to open that in April. So great information, but if you do need to reach us, you can email us. Winery@jonesfamilyfarms.com or leave a clear message at 203-929-6237. So as I'm sure you all noticed, we have had quite a layer of snow blanketing the ground, and that is great for our strawberries, making a wonderful insulation for the...
That cut out because I just put my hand over the microphone.
We have been busy doing our corrective Christmas tree pruning and wood cutting and much more around the farm fields. Keep in mind, as you move through the year, in June we have our Harvest Your Own strawberries, followed by Harvest Your Own blueberries, and then of course the fall pumpkin sales and all the family fun in late September.
Okay, that seems to work. The sound quality on these phones is outstanding, both on the earpiece and the speakerphone. The speakerphone could use some more volume, but it's totally usable, and the clarity and the lifelike quality of the sound is just outstanding. It's so much better than almost all other cordless phones that I've used. Okay, now we'll record some testing messages into the testing answering machine to make sure the handsets are transmitting correctly. And the testing answering machine just filled up, and I only got through one handset, so we have to break up the playback. So I'll play this one, and I gotta clear it out, and we'll record the rest of them.
1 new message and 23 old messages. The memory is full.
I know.
Please erase your messages.
I will.
Message 1.
This is a test from the Uniden cordless telephones. Some really great cordless phones by Uniden. It's a shame that Uniden no longer makes these phones. Okay, I'm leaving the studio now, roaming across the room. And this is to make sure the range is working correctly on these phones. I'm at the furthest point now, and I think the reception should be completely clear, as the range on these phones is pretty good. Okay, I'm going to enter back into the studio now. The dog is having an outburst. It's a daggone squeaky door again. Okay, now I'm going to switch the phone to the speakerphone. Okay, it's on the speakerphone now, and I'm speaking at about the same volume and distance as I was before. Now I'm going to set the phone down on the table. The phone is on the table now. It's about a foot away from where I'm at, and I'm still speaking at a pretty moderate, typical volume. Now I'm going to start moving back away from the phone. I'm about 2 feet away from the phone now, and I'm going to move back to about 3 feet away from the phone. And the message machine is still recording, so I think it's picking up just fine. I'm going to go back to about 4 feet away from the phone. This is really further than what would be a practical use case at this point. And it looks like the machine is still recording, so I think it's picking up quite nicely. And I'll go ahead and turn this phone off now.
End of messages.
And apparently the camera was not recording while I was playing the testing messages back. So I have to play them again.
4 old messages. Message 1.
This is handset number 2, talk. And now it is on the speaker. This one I'll put back into the base unit to hang up so we can hear what that sounds like.
Message 2.
This is handset number 3. Speakerphone is now off, and I'll put this one into the charge cradle to hang it up.
Message 3.
This is the waterproof phone. I have found that the pickup on the waterproof phone is not quite as sensitive as the regular handsets is, but I can deal with that because all you gotta do is just speak a little bit louder. It's nothing like the Panasonic waterproof phone where it's got feedbacks and echoes. There's none of that trash on this phone. This is a great phone. Okay, now I'm going to put it onto the speaker mode. Okay, now it's on the speaker mode, and I'm speaking at about the same distance and volume as I was before, so this is the comparison between what it sounds like on speaker versus what it sounds like on talk. Now I've set the phone down on the table, and this is where you may notice the pickup is not quite as loud as it was on the regular handsets. I'm about a foot away from it now. This is a pretty normal real-world use case. If you're sitting at a table and you've got the phone sitting there, I'm going to start moving back from the phone now. Okay, now I'm about 2 feet away from the telephone. This is still within normal use case bounds. I'm going to keep going back further. I'm about 3 feet away from the telephone. Now I'm going to be about 4 feet away from the telephone. And I think this is where it starts to get beyond how far most people would do that. Okay, so I'm hang this up now.
Message 4.
And this will be one final testing message with the waterproof phone to hear what it sounds like when you hang it up into the cradle.
End of messages.
As was heard through those testing messages, the pickup on the non-waterproof handsets is really quite good. It's very clear, very sensitive. The waterproof phone is not quite as sensitive as the other phones. The speakerphone, you really got to speak up if you're using the speakerphone. but it captures the sound perfectly fine, and there's no feedback, no echoes, nothing like that. It's totally usable. I tend to speak kind of quietly on the phone, so for me, I notice a difference. I gotta speak a little bit louder. A lot of people probably wouldn't even notice a difference. So that's that for the Uniden, what was the model number? 1580-4WXT telephones. We're going to do another video cleaning these up. Really great set. It's great phones. Probably the last, in my opinion anyways, some of the last really good economy grade phones that we saw.